Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers, and welcome to another edition of the Performance Brief, where we give you one breakthrough business idea in just 5 minutes. My guest today is Andrea Reibmayr. Andrea, very warm welcome. How are you today?
Very good. Thanks, Shane. I am so excited to be on your program.
Brilliant.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to have you here. Let me tell you a little bit about Andrea. Andrea is a transformational coach. She has found that people do not work for a job, but for a purpose. The foundation of coaching and leading self is self-awareness, and this is essential to learn and practice in order to build trust and create an environment of dignity and respect for you and your client. And awareness also encompasses others and the system. When there is a breakdown in the system, your business suffers. Building trust, being aware of how you manage yourself and others, the energy you bring to your practice, and how you communicate will create a more authentic and productive life and business. Trust is key in developing and fostering relationships with others. As a coach, Andrea co-creates with the client the transformation to lead with their head and heart. Andrea, the title of our interview today is Trust Leadership, Take Responsibility, Use Success and Transform. We have 5 minutes for the interview, and if you're ready, I'll start the clock.
I am ready. Thank you.
So let's start. What does trust leadership mean?
It's a really good question. When I wrote the book, that was actually one of the questions everyone would ask. What is trust leadership? Is it leaders who trust? Is it a style? What does it mean? So it's actually all of it. If you're thinking in your head, what is trust leadership? And you're thinking, is it about trust? Yes, it's about trust. So I define what is trust. So there are different definitions of trust. We have blind trust, simple trust, authentic trust. So I go into that. It's also about leadership. So we need to also, as leaders, positional and non-positional leaders. I just want to make that clear.
Mm.
So you don't have to have a position to be a leader.
Right.
That there are different, just understand what is leadership. So leadership, it can be transactional leadership, it can be transformational leadership, it can be authentic leadership, ethical leadership, servant leadership. So understanding that part of it. And research has shown that transformational leadership does bring about more trust. So I do want to put that one out there. And I do recommend that people work into build up their skill sets to become more transformational rather than transactional.
Right.
The next one is trust leadership is about trusting leaders. We need that in our organizations and our countries. And then it's also a style. Trust leadership is a style of leadership, similar to transformational leadership. So I built a model around that. Show that very quickly.
Right.
And you're from England, so it's a triquetra. And within that model, the trust leadership model is around three key parts, which is, and you need all three to instill leadership. It's communication, self-awareness. I'm going to do that one first. Self-awareness, communication, and the last one, which was my big leadership stretch to put out there, is energy.
Right. Okay.
And I do want to, in the middle is the heart, by the way.
Okay.
So trust leadership is heart-centered leadership.
Right. Okay. And what can people do to take responsibility?
So this is a big one. We need to become self-aware. I mean, it sounds so simple, but transformation. So I'm going to talk about first what is transformation, because I'm a transformational coach and we hear that word all the time, transformational leadership. But transformation occurs when there's been a learning lesson and you choose to create a better choice.
Right.
And around that is self-awareness. Now, I'm going to use the iceberg.
Yeah.
It's a very popular one to use. In the iceberg, at the top is the technical skills, your behaviors, what people see. It's what's below that's really important. And it's also It is what people see. They see it in your body language. They see it in your behaviors. It's your vision. It's your values. It's your motive. It's your habits. It's your beliefs. So what's important is becoming self-aware as a leader around all those.
Right.
First. Second is your strengths. As a coach, I also see the trend I see is people are not aware of their strengths. They're blind spots, actually. And it's important for leaders to become aware of their strengths and then use them appropriately. Right. When we do that in self-awareness, we create more trust. Now, it sounds simple again, but it takes a lot of practice, awareness, reflection, observation, and doing it in the moment. Right. Next, for taking responsibility, that's one is become self-aware.
Yeah.
We cannot operate anymore as a robot and just get things done in the office. You need to become self-aware of your emotions.
Yeah.
In a healthy way. So emotional intelligence is a big part of that. You can take assessments with a coach around this. I do a leadership profile assessment. So when they find out what their emotional intelligence is, and it's a skill set you can develop, then I either get, and I have had clients cry because they go, oh my God, I actually know this. And I'm like, yes, you do. So then they go out and they do it. They take responsibilities for their actions and they bring their team up. Leaders are there to help others excel.
Yeah.
That's a main job for leadership. Leaders are there to make sure the resources are in place, that they have met the vision and values of the organization, but they're also there to help others excel. Right. And you can't do that unless you do the work.
Yeah. We come to the end of their time already, but I do want to ask before we finish up, why do we need trust leadership today?
Because something's changing dramatically in the world, in organizations and even in countries around the world. And it's unsettling, it's unpredictable, and we need leaders to show up. We need leaders to help people move to a positive change, positive place. And people are looking for these leaders to show up. And we know the ones that do have trust. They're the ones that we do follow. And often they're sometimes often organizations, not the person who's leading the organization, but your colleague at the water cooler. Right? And just quickly, Price Waterhouse in 2016 did a survey of 1,400 CEOs in 83 countries. And they found that 55% found that trust was the leading issue in their organization and was a threat to their growth.
Wow.
And that's why I did this. It shows up all the time. Trust is the elephant in the room. Yeah. And become self-aware, communicate effectively, and understand the energy of yourself and others to excel. Take responsibility, use success, and transform.
Brilliant. Folks, for more resources from Andrea, this will be below the video, but it's www.facebook.com/Andrea Reibmayr coach/. Thank you very much, Andrea.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you.